So to kickstart the Phanon Empire, you go into the personal console and then transfer sector and simply select it and give it to Phanon. And this will destroy the colony ship. So be sure to get anything that the ship is carrying that you want to transfer to some other outpost or another ship. And then they get their starting outpost. They will build factories like usual, but they are quite weak, so you have to support them and maybe even give them more sectors at once. We also get a message about this new stealth shield ability. The Phanon sectors are orange on the galaxy map. And unfortunately, this engine, Albion Prelude engine, doesn't have an easy way to show this stealth shield ability in the sector description. But basically anything which is directly next to an orange sector is covered, and the Xenons will not attack or invade. So this sector is safe, this sector is safe, and this sector is safe. So that's why the message told me that 3 sectors are protected by the Phanon stealth shield. It's basically like the pirate contract perk, only that it works against the Xenons and the OCV, and that it covers everyone. So if we had an Argon fleet in the sector and a Xenon fleet, they would also not fight each other. So it works for the player and for any other faction. And the first Phanon sector also gets this weapons platform here, just to give them a bit stronger defenses in their starting area, so that they that they stand a slightly better chance in case they get attacked, with a small fighter defense force. But they are quite weak, and it's good advice to give them a bunch of sectors when they start out, so that they can become useful. They will now build their own factories and fleets, but it takes them a while. I believe they also get starting resources in the outpost. Yes, they do. But it's really not much. So you might also want to trade with them. So for example, I could do that from here, from this outpost. Start selling to the Phanons. We will have to see. We also get a new mission to clarify that Phanon must survive if you want to get a chance on destroying the OCV permanently. And we got tasked to place a jump beacon in their starting sector. And since we have one right here, we can use that. The Hercules can collect those remaining quantum tubes. Which he doesn't want to do, probably because he cannot carry all of them. Yeah, he's full. So first we will unload in our main territory and then come back to relocate the jump beacon from here to here. Because Phanon ships can actually use the player's jump beacon network. So down here we could actually, if we relocate the jump beacon, we could, I want a jump beacon in this sector too, but we can just use the perk to make the outpost into a jump station. And I plan to use the 5 planets in the sector to terraform them. And this will improve the already high population So in this location of the galaxy, it would be difficult to bring enough food items to feed all those people. So I'm just gonna unlock the no food consumption perk here and the jump station. Because I don't want to lose a jump beacon in this corner of the galaxy, and we can use this sector as sort of a fallback option as long as we hold the outpost, which is very likely because it's protected by the Phanon stealth shield, so the Xenons won't come. But in case another faction attacks us, we can still use the jump station as our staging ground. So the Hercules should be home, so let's unload him, and then we can load up another outpost and then collect the jump beacon. And I'm stopping the loop production for those fighters because we are running out of hull plating. But that's only because I have not set up a transport from my hull plating production to the shipyards. We still have lots of hull plating in this outpost. We just need to get it south. So from the outpost manager agent section, I will set up a new export job of hull plating to our main outpost, which is Phanon's Legend, producing most of our ships there. And we start exporting once we have 1,000 units. And the job priority 1 is good. So now the agents will slowly push the hull plating from here to Phanon's Legend. And I'm doing the same down here with the quantum tubes. Starting to export quantum tubes 1,000 to Phanon's Legend. Already 4K in this outpost. So the Hercules can fly right next to the Phanon outpost to drop the beacon. And Great Reef would make a good candidate for a research station or even a hacking station with its high research rate. And then we could make this another Phanon sector. Sounds like a plan, so I will probably drop the outpost in Great Reef. You know what? I don't really want this sector, so Phanon can have it too. This is a new feature. You can now transfer any sector from wherever you are. Once you are a nation, you can kind of control the chessboard on a grand scale. So for example, we have another pocket of sectors up here, which is also well suited for Phanon because it has abnormal signals. And I just have a small scout ship. I can still transfer the sector, so you don't need a TL, just need any ship, and then you can give those sectors to Phanon. Yeah, but you do need a ship, so we have to move over. And if you spread them around like that, then of course this also helps their chance of survival. We also still have those two sectors, but without any abnormal signals. And also surrounded by the Yaki, which are quite aggressive. This area is only bordering the Terrans, which are quite small, so they are not as aggressive. In 0 hour, the largest factions are usually the ones who are attacking other factions. The smaller factions are more on the defense. They don't want to burn themselves out like in vanilla Mayhem 3, where they are just throwing fleets at the front line and then eventually they just starve. Here they play more defensive, so those two Phanon sectors should be quite safe. And we will drop another jump beacon so that they can cross the entire distance very quickly. Phanon is a very mobile faction as long as you provide the jump beacons for them, which we are doing in this sector. Dropping it. And it should also be safe from Xenon infection, so we don't need to send defender ships for this jump beacon. We take our TL and search for another jump beacon up here, like this one. To take over. And this fighter fleet can go back to protect the TL, because we are crossing pirate territory. And we got another message where Phanon thanks us for the jump beacon, and which unlocks terraforming. But this is another topic that we will cover later. First, I want to establish some Phanon sectors around the galaxy. And we are taking out this Xenon station. And now we get the final mission. There's still some text missing. I have to add that for the final release version. Basically, you have to conquer 2 specific sectors for Phanon. And this will allow them to close the OCV Maelstrom portal. And in this case, it's Sirt's Dominion, this Argon sector here, and Shining Currents, this Boron sector. So those are our targets. And if we conquer them for Phanon, then the OCV is finished. So of course this will bring us into conflict with the Argons and the Borons. And if you have a powerful fleet, you can complete this quite easily and quickly. But we want to keep Phanon around and build them up. So I want to keep it slow.